Could Jesus have been an emo? Well, according to this movie, he could have. And we should talk about that. So the movie we're going to be looking at today is called Emo The Musical. And it's a movie for people who have always, wondered to themselves, gosh, I wonder what Romeo and Juliet would be like if they were emo and Australian. Okay, so the movie starts out with this kid playing his guitar in a hallway. He actually sounds pretty good. Probably the other students enjoy it. Oh, never mind. Why did he do that? Was class in session? Where are all the other students? Are these the only two people in the school? Oh, there they are. Wait, why are they just waiting at the top of the stairs to come down immediately? Were they just poised at the top of the stairs, waiting for the bell to ring? And why are some of them coming in from outside? Were they locked out? Do Australian schools have classes outside? That sounds awful. There's spiders outside. Please don't make me do school with the spiders. So anyway, after this, he goes into this pumping song about how basically he's a failed emo. It's not like a real one, because he doesn't self-harm and he gets good grades. I get that he's bullied by that kid in the beginning, but other than that, he seems to be doing pretty well. Maybe he's just having a rough day. He can report the bully to the school and just move on, right?
And I want friends who don't kick me when I fall. In fact, I do for any friends at all.
What the crap? Why does everyone hate this kid? What did he ever do to any of these people? Aside from play guitar in the hallway, when class was probably in session. After that, he takes his broken guitar outside and...
I dream of a world when you're not around. I dream of a
Where's he going? Wait.
I dream of a world.
What's he doing?
I dream of a world.
What? Oh, okay, so he doesn't die. But he does get expelled, because that's what you do with kids who are depressed and bullied and need help. You expel them. So he's admitted to this new school called Seymour High, and is greeted by everyone's worst fear. Christians.
Want to hear the good news?
These people are, really stereotypical and really weird. But while he's being shown around by these people, he sees an audition poster for a band called Worst Day Ever.
Wait, you have real actual emos here?
Oh, good. More stereotypes. What does that even mean? Are emos a separate species? Maybe they're just a separate species in Australia. So anyway, he goes to class and sees who we presume are Worst Day Ever playing, though we don't actually know because we haven't been introduced to the band yet. And let me tell you, it is love at first sight. After class is over, he goes out to his locker and sees the Christians playing. By the way, in this movie, there is another species, the Christians. The Christians and the emos are stark opposites of each other. Just real button heads everywhere. So you've got these two sides, and they're basically at war. And they start playing this really weird song called Give Up, about how it's okay to give up on everything.
It's alright to give up. Give up. It's alright to give up.
Give up.
They're really mean to everyone.
So you're less pretty than the rest of the flock. Give up. It will occur to you that the deformity that Jesus gave to you is your security against sex out of wedlock.
Yeah, no thanks. That's kind of rude. One of the Christians walks over to him afterwards, asking if he would like to go to church with him, but this is where he mentions he's an atheist with no interest.
I'm an atheist. You're a science-addicted, sex-educated atheist?
She keeps trying, and then suddenly he sees the cool emos he wants to be with, and then, like, freaks out. He's worried that they will see him with a Christian and think he's a Christian as well.
I have a new CD.
Look, if those guys see me with you, I'll be as popular as an Ebola patient at a birthday party.
Who wrote this script? So she assures him that it doesn't matter because they're only emos. That's speciesist. And then he asks her,
Have you noticed anything about me?
Oh.
oh my gosh. He looks completely different. Is this like the Australian equivalent of like Superman just taking off his glasses? Where he's just like, can you even tell it's me? Do I look different? I bet I do. Anyway, so right after he saves her from tremendous embarrassment...
Take a pamphlet.
Yeah, that's not what you think it is.
Trinity, what are you doing with that?
It's mine. I like the pictures.
You're sick.
So he decides he needs to impress Bradley, who is the leader of the worst day ever. And because apparently they have all the same classes together, he decides to do what everybody does when they're trying to impress someone. That's right. He talks about Hitler.
Sport is a tool for dictators and fascists.
Sport is a very useful tool for keeping the body healthy.
That's what they said about Hitler Youth.
Did they though? Also, who is Hitler Youth? Is that like some other dictator I don't know about? This movie, man. Bradley is duly impressed by his rebellion. He's like, good job, you got detention. And actually lets him audition for the band and is really uncomfortable.
This song doesn't have a name, because I'm not into labels. I don't even care if you like it.
And then, for the second time in the movie, he plays this pumpin' song.
No, I don't want to be in your stupid band. No, I don't want to be in your stupid band.
I don't know where he got the other instruments or did the backing vocals for his own live performance, but needless to say, he nailed it. And he gets in the band. And this is where he finds out that the band is trying out for something called the State Rock Competition, which apparently is like a really big deal. This is where we learn about Doug Skeleton, who is the greatest emo to have ever lived.
He paints portraits of his ex-girlfriends with his own blood. I once saw him kiss a man for 7 hours straight while crying. He hates his parents so much that he unearthed their coffins, burnt them on stage, and then used their ashes as eyeliner.
Dude, I don't think I like that guy. He seems weird. But he makes it. He's in the band. So while everything's happening, we find out that the school is in financial trouble, and so they get sponsored by this pharmaceutical company.
Good news, everybody. World State Pharmaceuticals has agreed to sponsor us. The school is saved.
Miss, are those antidepressants?
They're serotonin boosters. We don't just give out antidepressants willy-nilly.
That's illegal. You can't do that. So the teacher gives them these love song projects. Ethan is paired with Trinity, who is the girl that tried to convince him to come to church earlier in the movie. But there's a problem.
I don't normally have boys over.
You can come to mine if you like.
We also get this clip from the pharmaceutical company's logo. Why does everyone in this movie hate the idea of helping kids? Like, they're kids. So then, right after that, they go over to his house to do homework, and his parents are nowhere to be found. They're not in the house. They're not even in the movie. Like, is this kid an orphan? Do people in this movie not have parents? Actually, it wouldn't be the weirdest thing that happens in this movie, honestly. So they show each other, like, what they've written for their love song projects, and needless to say, they are very different.
You kick me in the face. You only show you care when you cut me. You kick me in the face.
What's this about?
It's about a guy who finds true love.
I don't think we have the same definition of love. And during the study session, we also find out that Ethan isn't baptized.
You can't go to church or heaven.
That's not how that works. That's not how any of that works. Since he's trying to make conversation, he brings out a cassette that he got from the school's library, and then she just knows where his cassette player is. Isn't that her first time in the house? Why does he have a cassette player? But then before playing the song, she asks him why he's an emo, and he says,
Everyone pretends to be happy all the time. That people aren't starving, and that the world is fair. And I guess I'd just rather be depressed.
What? Like, he started out making a good point, but the conclusion makes no sense. Wouldn't that make you want to fix everything? And then right after that is the most awkward dancing I have ever witnessed in my life to a really weird song.
When we touch, it's completely consensual. Nothing about our relationship is illegal. You know it's true. You know it's true.
And then she runs away.
I have to go.
Okay.
So they do the assignment and completely bomb it because Ethan did nothing because she ran away from him. But Trinity actually wrote a song, but it's about Ethan.
'Cause we could be wonderful. We match perfectly. We could be spectacular, just you and me.
And he hated it.
Toilet miss.
Also, did anyone else's school make them do this? Did you get up in front of everyone and sing a love song you wrote with someone? That just seems super weird to me. So he runs away, and then after he runs away, she runs after him, and they kiss.
You and me, we shouldn't even talk.
And right after that, we see that the worst day ever actually made it into the band competition, but unfortunately, so did the Christians.
The only people that are going to vote for that crap are Jesus virgins like you.
Well, that's why I'm inviting my whole church group to come and vote. There's quite a lot of us.
Back out now, or I'll go anti-Christ on you. Are you out?
We're in.
So then Trinity texts him to meet her in the library later, and that's when we get to see the perfect description of public high school. Yeah, that seems about right for teenagers. Ethan and Trinity are really conflicted with their relationship because they're worried that Isaac, who's the leader of the Christian band, will be upset. And so they just kind of kiss, and then Ethan runs away. But when he runs away, he runs into one of the Christians named Peter. And as it turns out, Peter's gay.
Oh, sorry, Peter.
And not only is he gay, but he's doing this. Dude, what the frick? That's so messed up. Does this movie have no shame? But while there, Peter sees the other girl from the group named Jamile, something like that. And it turns out she's pregnant. So then Ethan and Trinity go back to her house, even though no boys are allowed. Trinity gets horny for the first time ever. So she quickly asks why he changed schools, and he says,
I'll have to sit on the bed.
No, you wouldn't. You're just as capable of talking from over there as you are when you sit on the bed. You don't have to sit on the bed to talk to her. Don't be like that. That's weird. But then we find out something really important about Ethan. He didn't actually try to kill himself, and he had pretended to kill himself not once, not twice, but 6 times. That's right. 6.
It wasn't real. I kind of did it 6 times.
Dude, what the crap? It's just wrong. So suddenly her parents get back and she flips out because she's not supposed to have boys in the house. So they hide in her closet and he takes off his pants.
Why are you... I'll dress Christian. Do you have any boy type of clothes?
Because striped shirts and button-downs are how sinners dress. If you're not wearing the clothes that Jesus wore, then you're doomed. That's just how it is. So he strips in the closet and he dresses like a Christian and sneaks out. But again, we don't see her parents because nobody has parents. And he's wearing a pink top and yoga pants. You know, like all Christians do. She also gives him her Bible, and that's important later. So the next day, worst day ever, is forced to stop skipping classes, like apparently they've been doing to get more band practice in. So they go to their PE class, and that's when they find Trinity's Bible while digging through Ethan's backpack, as you do.
Huh? What?
And while this happens, Ethan is out on a movie date with Roz because
It's Friday date night.
where she then asks him if he would like to.
You want to go all the way?
Ethan freaks out and says,
I don't think we should see each other anymore.
that is where we get this song.
You cannot leave me, even if you tried.
Sit down.
You cannot leave me, 'cause in your cupboard I will hide with a knife that is sharp and pointy. I will stab you in the heart before I let you break mine.
What? She threatening to kill him for breaking up? Okay, so it actually gets better as the song goes along while Ethan gets up and is desperately trying to run. But she chases him down and threatens him again.
You cannot leave me. You cannot leave me. I'll follow everywhere you go. You cannot leave me. Antarctica, New Mexico, each track, every map. By my love you will be bound, or I'll find you and I'll drown you in some foreign seaside town. You cannot leave me.
That's straight up illegal, dude. Chill out. What the heck? If it wasn't illegal before, it definitely is now.
Rose and I have decided not to date anymore.
Would it have something to do with this?
Oh shoot. But then Ethan says,
I was going to burn that.
and he does. That can't be good for his soul. Then the band leader, Bradley, says that he has to break up with Trinity. So then he goes to do that, and she's in her swimsuit and talks him into swimming in her pool, which is like this little kiddie pool. But then there's a twist.
Hey, I've got this song stuck in my head. Maybe you can help me figure out what it is. It's kind of like, in the name of the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit, buried in the likeness of his death and raised in the likeness of his...
That's right. She tries to baptize him. What? Needless to say, he ditches her immediately, because that's freaking weird. But he did it! The band loves him again. And we get another just amazing song.
One day I'll know, it'll all be clear, that dating you was a bad idea.
But I've got this thing stuck on my brain. The thought goes round again and again and again.
Seriously, the songs in this movie are so good. Later that night, they go to a party where people who vote in the state rock competition are hanging out to try and gain some support for their little battle with the Christians that they've got going on. But before they go in, everyone has to show that they have scars.
Scars.
I'm just gonna move on. So they played this song, and it's actually one of the best songs in the movie, and the band absolutely nails it. So while Worst Day Ever is just killing it at the party, Trinity goes to this church support group where she lets slip a little secret.
Ethan's suicide wasn't real. He just said it so people would like him.
And then we get the greatest song of all time. Let me play some of that for you.
Jesus would have been an emo. Jesus would have been an emo.
throwing wedgies after class. He never got the grades to pass.
Stop your clapping!
Failed at science, failed at gym, and no girl would have dated him.
Girls?
Cause who wants their boyfriend crucified at the formal? Jesus would have been an emo.
This is not proper!
Anyway, so Isaac loses his mind and hunts down Ethan's old school on Facebook and decides to run a defamation campaign, just like telling everyone that his suicide was fake. And suddenly, people hate him again.
It's more precious than gold.
Why are people so mean to this dude? Isn't it good it wasn't real? Shouldn't people be glad he's not depressed like they thought he was? This movie, man. But let's continue. So to win Bradley back, again, for the third time, they decide to trash the other band's instruments to really prove the band is just their everything. Also, minor detail, they set the school on fire and run away.
Stop! We need to get out of here before someone sees us.
We need to put that up now!
Go! Go!
So, in response to this, the school outlaws any of the bands that are entering the rock competition from using dark or upsetting lyrics or violent ones in any way, which is an issue for the worst day ever because
It's all about death!
What about Happy Needle?
No!
Apocalypse?
Everyone dies in that song.
Hey guys, do you reckon they're gonna care about my shirt?
death, depression, suicide. Now that covers everything. Also, Bradley's a little upset.
You were supposed to make us look good! Instead you ruined everything!
Ethan actually ends up quitting because he thinks they've gone too far.
Then I'll quit. You're on this weird ego trip.
That was the dumbest decision since your mother stopped using birth control.
Oh, damn. Bradley with the roast. Maybe this kid isn't so bad after all. Ethan is hurt that he's lost all his friends, and so he tries to kill himself again. For real. It doesn't work for some reason. This movie lays it on really thick sometimes. So we're almost at the end of the movie, and it's finally time for the state rock competition. And just to get you hyped for what's to come, they start you off with a little, we'll let you decide.
Bring your stapler and pen. Bring your calculator and Excel program. I'll start the water cooler. You bring the instant coffee.
Ew. So then Ethan goes over to Isaac and said,
I want to join your band.
and Isaac isn't very receptive of that.
I'm too stressed for jokes.
But he actually agrees because Peter's gone and they're down a guitarist. However, there is one issue.
Have you been baptized?
Which he hasn't, but not to worry, Isaac has a solution.
By the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Ethan, are you?
Yeah, I'm getting baptized.
That's right. There's an emergency roadside baptism for anyone, for whatever reason. It exists. This doesn't seem theologically accurate at all. So they go on as a Christian band, which is called Hope Group, and finally get to play.
Cain and Abel got into a fight. Cain stabbed Abel with his knife, and God drowned all the sodomites. Would you like to come to church with me? Come to church, come to church, come to church with me. Come to church, whoa.
I really don't like this song. But then while everyone is hating the song, as they should, because it sucks, Ethan just takes it away with mad guitar skills.
us together.
And suddenly, Jamali can play the drums. That's right, Tambourine Girl is secretly a rock star. So the song finishes, and then Trinity is picked for some reason. Dude, he just saved your band and even got baptized for you. Also, she was talking to him earlier just fine when he got baptized. Why is she suddenly mad at him now? Finally, it's time for
worst day ever.
And people are hyped. I am too. Their music just slaps. So they're about to start bringing the house down when...
1, 2, 3, 4!
Wait!
This band is disqualified.
What?
They have been found guilty of arson at our school. We are expelling them, and we are withdrawing them.
And apparently they know it's them because...
Isaac tested the chapel for fingerprints and DNA.
The security cameras don't exist in this school, or maybe all of Australia. Bradley kind of loses his mind when he hears this.
Excuse me, Stacey, move.
I play, or I peel him like an apple.
Bradley, please.
So Bradley really wants to play. He begs Doug Skeleton to help him out. But Doug, who is Bradley's hero, tells everyone the coffin burning and everything was all fake to sell more albums. Ethan comes over and finally talks him into putting down the knife.
You're going way too far. Put down the knife, man.
And then he says this.
You know, I got to play when I shouldn't have, so let Brad play too.
And they let him play? What? The dude just had a knife to someone's throat and was about to kill him, and they're just like, nah, it's cool if he plays. No! Call the police! So then the worst day ever starts playing.
1, 2, 3, 4!
And Ethan runs up and joins them. Woohoo! Then he mashes in this song for Trinity, who's still mad at him, by the way, and everyone just kind of goes with it.
Infect me now, infect me always. Come on and rain on me, come on and rain on me. I like everything about you and I think that you like me, so come on and rain on me.
Needless to say, they absolutely slay it. Oh, and then this happens. Oh, man. They don't actually end up winning the competition, even though they were the only good band there, aside from maybe the Christians, who still weren't that great. But as it turns out, something better happens.
Hey, do you want to hang out sometime? I mean, church or beer or whatever?
I've been meaning to go to the Science Museum.
Ah, true love. But they aren't the only ones that get together.
Look, I'm sorry.
If we do this, I have rules.
Okay. Like Christian rules?
Like regular human decency rules?
Yep. Yeah, that's fair.
And they kiss. And that's how it ends. Huh.